Yeah, thank you. I got engaged.
Yeah. It's so cool.
I had always said, obviously, as a divorcee, like a lot of you kids can't relate to this. I'm sure there are a ton of people in the theater that are on their third marriage, but it's L.A. after all, and I endorse you. Like I think use marriage as an expression. Like express yourself. Like let me see what you do in your eighth marriage. But I think the typical person is like, no, marriage is for keeps, and that's why I hate it or I love it or whatever. I never saw myself as a divorcee. I loved my wife. Like I proposed to my lovely, lovely wife, my partner, my best friend. We were together for a probably record minimum amount of time before we were like, whoa, mistake. But I was like, I would say to Cody, like, look, you want to put a ring on this finger, like, do it. But the one thing I can't do is be like, will you also marry me? That seems problematic because it's like the proposal's coming from the one guy that's like, look, you're already established that your opinion of who should be married is flawed. Is this logic not tracking? Like, don't get married and then get divorced. My therapist said the same thing, which is not really, because it's disrespecting your. But I'm like, well, no, fucking, you got to do it this time.
But Cody proposed to you on this one, right?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
is that I'm like, yeah, I'll hold out for that.
Did she like get down on the knee into the whole thing?
Yeah, she did. She almost drowned. It was because it was in Tahiti, and she picked her spot and she did the thing, and she had rehearsed it, and she was up to her neck in water, and she proposed to me. I knew it was coming eventually, but I didn't know it was coming there.
Are you going to take the name Heller, or are you going to keep Harmon?
I think I would. Selfishly, I would like to take the name Heller because I would like to die. I've been through this whole thing. I consider this very therapeutic. Like, a woman got down on her knee and said,
Blah, 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 blah.
would you marry me? And I was like, holy fuck, I knew this was happening. And then I'm like, holy shit, it's happening now. And then I'm like, honestly, to be honest and share with you, this is not a binary decision you make. However, it gets reduced. If somebody says to you at the halftime show of a thing, you're like, the alternative is no, I won't marry you. There's a little bit of a push there where you're like, yeah, of course, first and foremost, yes, and. But there's a processor in the back of your head where you're like, what's happening? How is this going to work?
So your UCB training kicked in at this point?
Of course. I think everyone's UCB training kicks in. Everyone doesn't need UCB training. That was the start of a thing in my Tahitian vacation where I was like in the background. I didn't share this with Cody at all. I shared it with my therapist, but I was like, every day since I said yes to this proposal, I had been confronting this anxiety. Or I was like, a woman just proposed to you and you said yes. And what have you given up? What are you doing? What's going on? And it made me kind of like go through these thoughts in my head where I was like, well, first of all, now I can get as fat as I want. But then counter that, I was like, no, you now have to get thinner than you've ever been. There's a voice from down here somewhere where like he's not saying anything that I disagree with, but your license to speak is too liberal. Curtail it. It's distracting me. But even though you're saying exactly everything I'm thinking, fuck you. Silence. Free speech zone is in my butt. Go get up my butt, sir. I started thinking in my head, it was like an emotional thing where I was like, oh shit, like when a guy proposes to a woman, the guy, it doesn't matter, like remove all of your politics about who pays for what and all this stuff. Like the bottom line is that a guy is like thinking about it and then buying a ring, and which is what Cody had to do. And like, it's just that power of like when you hit the buzzer. I knew Cody was going to propose to me. I was in love with her. I wanted her to propose to me. I didn't know it was going to happen then, but that makes it no, like it was like she gets to hit the buzzer in the game show of like, we're married now.
She told me, she's like, should I? She told me.
I don't want to hear that you got to weigh in. That's awful.
I told her don't do it.
Okay. All right. Okay. But like it was like and it was like there was this thing of anxiety hanging over me. I don't know how much of it had to do with the fact that like, look, I've been married and I fucked it up. Like I don't know how to do this.
Would you have proposed to her if she hadn't done it?
No, well, I don't know if I would have. I told everybody within shouting range. I was like, look, I love marriage, so I proposed to my ex-wife. It didn't work out so good. Therefore, what right do I have to, it felt like, it's like, what does it mean for me to get on one knee and say, hey, you know what? I got a feeling this one's real. It's sort of like, to me, there's an elephant in that room where it's like, yeah, but what do you know? You're divorced. Like you're the one guy in this exchange that doesn't know whether or not you should be proposing to someone. You already did it. And it was always an open joke between me and Cody because she's like, what if I ever propose to you? I'm like, the day you propose to me, you get fucking automatic yes. I love you. I want to be with you for the rest of my life. But that's sort of like what all couples are in a sense. Like it's not like, hopefully there's not a lot of couples where someone's like, by the way, shit or get off the pot. And it's like, oh, fuck, oh, God. Like, we perceive it that way, but the truth is that you're like, you know, it's more of a continuum. And so that's why I was like I said, of course I said yes, because of course the answer is yes. And then for the next 2 days, unbeknownst to Cody, I was sort of like, in my head, it was like, why do I feel uneasy? And the answer is because this wasn't, I'm missing, like the way you miss your wallet or your keys, I'm missing my agency. It's not like this isn't what I wanted. It's just that I didn't, I'm like, I've been shocked like corn of like something that doesn't protect me anyway. It doesn't matter. I didn't want it, but I was like, it's gone. I didn't even know I wanted it. And then I started to think in my head, I was like, why don't you run through some exercises like what's your worst nightmare? It was like, okay, well, I've been taken. So it's my job to serve this woman for the rest of my life. And that actually kind of made me start, like, I was sort of like I was thinking in my head, it was like, what if you were like property? What if you had been taken? What if you had no agency? What if somebody had looked at you and said, I want that? And you were like, okay, I'll let you take that. And like, I don't want you to leave me, so I guess I better be on my toes from now on. As opposed to this other...
I wonder if any woman here could relate to that feeling.
That's my point, is I was sort of like in doses, it was sort of like subjecting myself, and the more I pushed the weird dystopian narrative, where it was like, what if you actually were just a slave? What if you were a servant? What is your nightmare? What is the worst thing? What do we fear about? What do these symbols represent? Ring on your finger, like ring on my finger. I'm doing this. I take that. My father pays for this. He gives you away. What all this transactional stuff? And then like thinking about like my part of it and going like, what if I was like a damsel? What if it came out, I liked it. I was like, oh, yeah, get like, this is the good side of the equality thing. Like yeah, fucking, I don't want to deal with this shit. Like, doesn't every guy want, like, aren't incels complaining about like, how come women aren't just giving me sex? Like, do you think they'd be happy if like we lived in a world where women could like walk up to them and go like, you, incel, I choose you. I like your cheekbones. Can you make breakfast? Would they be willing to meet them halfway a little bit? Because according to their website, no, they don't. They want a world where like women are like you can get them in the mail and stuff. But somewhere in the middle there's like partnership where it's like, ooh, me? Which I really like that feeling. All right, let's move on to something else. Thank you for congratulating me on my engagement. Happy 2019. Yes, I will. I will.
Have you,
I do. I will take her. I will take her name because I kind of don't like Dan Harmon anymore.
Yeah,
But
be-
it won't.
be-
It won't be
be-
because
be-
I'm like a feminist. It'll be because I don't like myself. It'll be me conveniently going like, oh, that guy that sexually harassed that lady and apologized for it on NPR, he's dead. I'll just be like, no, Dan Heller's in the house. I kind of like that idea. Of being like, let's call it Hellertown and let's.
Also, you won't have to change your monogram on your towels. It's the same.
Still DH.
Still DH.
The people that really respect me have only ever called me DH.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line. Like,
When you see Judd Apatow walking down the road, you go, "Hey, DH."
yeah,
Nothing
he
changes.
gets it.
Oh yeah.
Wait, so do you guys think you're gonna get married soon?
No, it'll be. She's so lazy. It'll be a million years. She was so excited about proposing to a guy and making him like she'll be. It'll be.
I bet. I was, I'll be honest, I was stunned by the feminist triumph. I was really taken aback.
That's all she wanted. She's done.
That's the thing. I was like,
Don't
I
worry
don't
about-
even know how to feel about this.
Now, if we get married, do you want to? Yeah, it'll be 5 years
was
from
awesome.
now. Rob Schraub will be officiating. We'll be in Death Valley between two rocks. Like there'll be 8 people there.
What if you guys love each other so much that you just name each other Schraub? That you become Dan and Cody Schraub.
That could be good.
Yeah, I am.
Prove your love. Prove your love.
I would love to prove my love.